And we are also going to talk about something that we've mentioned before on the show and that we've taken note of is the cancellation of quite a large number of manga magazines this year. It was recently reported by Sankei News that 12 manga magazines have ceased publication so far in 2018 due to low circulation numbers and the proliferation of smartphones with new ways to read manga. This year is the highest number of manga cancellations since 2014.
Wow.
And in 2014, 14 magazines ceased publication in the first half of that year, and 36 ceased publication in total. So now we're having a huge purge again of manga magazines this year. And there were some big ones that got canceled this year that ended publication, like Hana to Yume, Yo Magazine, Young Animal Arashi, Monthly Comic Birds. Like, these were big magazines that just closed their print publications down. So it's been theorized by publishing professor Yashio Uemura that the increasing availability of apps for reading manga for free and the support for vertical scrolling and the number of children who do not know how to read magazines increases, and that is causing the decline of print magazines. But on the other hand, researcher Kyohei Shibata noted that there are some magazines using creative methods to increase sales, like Shonen Sunday S, which is doing very well because both its June and July issues sold out and they had reprints. And perhaps a contributing factor to the success is that both of those issues feature Toru Amuro from Detective Conan on the cover and bundled goods relating to the character. So it appears that, like, character-based marketing still works. Like, if you identify the niche and the popularity and sell consumer goods built around that cult of personality, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But Tetsudo Kosaikai, the company that stocks magazines and kiosk stores at JR stations in Japan, also announced that it is ceasing magazine distribution business because earnings in this sector were only a tenth of its earnings during the industry's peak. And so now Tohan, another company, is taking over the magazine distribution. So this also seems like a pretty big blow in terms of magazine distribution across Japan. But, yeah, I mean, we've mentioned before, we've reported on the cancellations of several magazines as they've happened throughout the year, but the number of 12 magazines ending so far in 2018 is pretty significant, especially since, as we mentioned, there were big names among these canceled magazines. So I really feel that we could really see the end of this era of print magazines. I think that, like many of the researchers have noted, the industry trend is moving towards digital. That's where the audience and the consumers are, and that's how people more and more are reading their manga these days. So print is a dwindling medium, not necessarily a dying medium. I don't think that there will ever not be a market for print books, but digital is overtaking it. And the magazine system of having like a magazine where you have multiple series serialized in it, I think that could be going away in terms of the large scale. Like, I think we'll always have stuff like Shonen Jump, but I can imagine that a new model would be online sites where you have like the multiple series on there, but you can just choose the individual series you want to read, and you don't necessarily have a product that is bundled with all these series that you are getting in like one book or like one purchase, but you're reading the individual series, like per chapter or however you want to consume it. I think that's the model that we're going to be seeing more and more of. But it's a very interesting topic. I think we're seeing some big changes. And I'm curious to see, like, where this will lead in the future. Like, what other magazines we might see close its doors, and how this is going to dramatically change the manga industry. Manga magazines have been such an integral part of manga culture in Japan for so long. So if this is basically going to be the last hurrah for the grand majority of them, beyond perhaps like the big three mainstream magazines like Shonen Jump and stuff, it'll be interesting to see like how the manga reading experience and like how manga are distributed and serialized is how that's going to look like in the future. Like what the new trend, the prevailing trend will be. So very interesting stuff.
Yeah.